Hello friends, this video on Redox reaction part 16 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. So now we have seen this, the method which we have used, oxidation number balance, is pretty complex, it is pretty lengthy. So let's try to understand a new method called half reaction method. So in this, the first step you do is you split the reaction into two halves. Two reaction half, the oxidation half and the reduction half. Once you are done, we have to balance the atoms other than oxygen and hydrogen, and then you have to balance oxygen and hydrogen also. That means the next step is to balance atoms, and then you have to balance charge, right? But in atom, if you see, the first priority is given to other atoms other than hydrogen and oxygen, and then the priority is given to oxygen and hydrogen, right? And to balance the charge, you'll add electrons in each side, and then you have to make sure that the electrons addition is same in both the reactions. You can do that by multiplying each of the half by some number, maybe 3, 4, something. We'll show you an example for this, right? And then you have to add both the half reaction and make sure that the electron which you have balanced on both sides are getting cancelled, and you get this reaction balance very easily. And to remember the, to verify also once. To remember this, the memory tip is very easy. Split AC. So if you know, there are two kind of AC in the market. One is the window AC, which is in the window pane, right? Which is like this. I can draw the picture. I should have taken the picture anyway. Now there is a split AC, which is a little long, right? And something like this, right? This is split AC, and this is window AC. So split AC is a very common term. It's a kind of AC. So if you remember this term split AC, you can remember this whole reaction. So split, the first one, split, talks about splitting the reaction into two half. AC, the first A means you have to balance atoms. In atoms also you'll give first priority to other atoms, and then hydrogen and oxygen. And C is charge, that means you have to balance charge, right? So let's take one example for this. So we have oxidation of iron from Fe plus to Fe plus 3 by dichromate iron in acidic medium, wherein the Cr2O7 2 minus ions are reduced to Cr3 plus. We have to balance this. So let me write this first, the two halves. The first one, it's saying that Fe2 plus is getting oxidized to Fe3 plus, and the second reaction says that Cr2O7 2 minus is getting reduced to Cr3 plus. Correct? Now we have to balance this. Now the memory tip we have is split AC. Correct? So let's try this. Let's take the first reaction. The first reaction is my Fe2 plus gives Fe3 plus. Splitting is already done, right? We have splitted this because the question is given in this format. A is what? Make sure the atoms are balanced. So here we have one iron atom, the atoms are balanced. The next is charge, you have to balance charge. So here we have 3 charge, here we have 2 charge. So what we can do to balance, we'll add 1 electron here. So now if you see, the charge is balanced. So this reaction is complete for me. So let's take this reaction. So let's take this reaction. I'll take in different color. So the next reaction which we have is this guy, Cr2O7 2 minus gives Cr3 plus. Splitting is done. A is balancing atom. So here we have 3 chromium atom, here we have 2 chromium atoms, right? So we have to multiply this guy with 2, it becomes 6 here, and we have to multiply, sorry, this is Cr3 plus, right? So we have only 1 chromium atom here, we have 2, just multiply with 2 here, right? Because it's Cr3 plus. So chromium is balanced, right? Because the rule says that if you want to balance atom, the first thing you have to do is you have to balance all the atoms other than oxygen and hydrogen. Once you are done with that, then only you can balance hydrogen and oxygen, right? So next step is to balance oxygen. So here we have 7, here we have 0. How can we balance oxygen and hydrogen? The way we can balance is by adding water molecules, right? And since it is an acidic medium, so let's to get 7 oxygen here, right? So we'll add 7H2O. So now oxygen is balanced. but hydrogen is not balanced now. To add hydrogen, what we can do? We can add 14 H plus ion here. So with this, if you see, hydrogen is also balanced. Hope you are getting the point what I am doing. Okay, let me do it from once again. Same thing. I had Cr2O7 2 minus, right? This guy I had, and this was giving me Cr3 plus. This is the reaction I had. Split is done. I have to balance atoms. For atom, I have to balance all the atoms apart from oxygen and hydrogen first. Chromium, if you see, there is 1, there is 2 here, so we'll just multiply with 2. Let me take different color. So we'll just multiply with 2, right? So we get 2 chromiums. Now if you see, chromium is balanced. Oxygen is not balanced now, so we can add 7 water here, right? Because water is something which is free, and the rule says you can just add as many water molecules as you want. So oxygen is balanced. Now hydrogen is not balanced. To balance hydrogen is the acidic medium, so we'll add H plus here. How many H plus? Because there are 14 hydrogen extra, so we'll add 14 H plus here. So with this my atoms are balanced. Now the question comes to balance charge, right? So let's see how in LHS how much charge. In LHS we have -2 plus 14 here, that is plus 12 charge. In RHS, how much charge we have? We have 3 into 2, that is plus 6, and 0, that is 6 charge here, right? So we have 14, 12 here, we have 6 here. How to balance? So we can add some electrons, right? So how many electrons we can add? So this is 12, this is 6. So we can, if we can add 6 electrons here, minus 6 charge, both will be same, both will become 6. So we can add 6 electrons here, right? So this is my reaction. Now the only thing left is we have to balance the electrons and add it. This is 6 electrons, this is 1 electron. So what we can do is I can multiply this thing with 6 so that we get 6 electron both sides. So let me write these two reactions now. This one, by multiplying with 6, you get 6 Fe2 plus gives Fe3 plus, that is also 6 plus 6 E minus. This reaction, let me write this, you get Cr2O7 2 minus plus 14H plus 6 electron gives you 2Cr3 plus 7H2. So if you see, this and this is cancelled, right? And if you add these, you'll get the final reaction, and the final reaction will be 6 Fe2 plus Cr2O7 2 minus, right, plus 14H plus, this gives you 6 Fe3 plus 2 Cr3 plus 7H2. This is my balanced reaction. Correct? The approach is different. Here it's split AC, first split, then balance atoms. In atoms you first balance all the atoms apart from oxygen and hydrogen, and then you balance oxygen and hydrogen by adding by adding water or OH minus or H plus ion based on where it is acidic or basic medium, and then you balance charge. And then once you have two different balanced reactions, you add them in such a way that the electron part is cancelled.
Thank you. Visit examfear.com to watch free educational videos, try free online tests, get the best quality study materials, study from the best tutors and mentors, and much more. Thanks once again.